Ever wondered why some of your favorite Coronation Street characters suddenly vanish without a trace? No dramatic send-off, no emotional farewell, just gone? Well, it turns out that's not an accident. One of the show's longest-serving stars has just lifted the lid on a quiet but major change happening behind the scenes, a shift that's transforming how the iconic ITV soap handles its storylines. Sally Ann Matthews, known for her unforgettable role as Jenny Connor, has finally revealed what's really been going on at Coronation Street headquarters. After years of ups, downs, heartbreaks, and chaos behind the Rover's return bar, her time on the cobbles has officially come to an end. But fans were quick to notice her exit didn't come with the dramatic fireworks they might have expected. There was no huge scandal, no long goodbye, just a quiet, bittersweet decision to start fresh somewhere new. And according to Sally, that was very intentional. Speaking on the Conversation Street podcast, she explained that the show has completely changed the way it handles character departures, and the reason why might surprise you. They don't do exit stories anymore, she revealed, unless you die. That's right. Gone are the days when a beloved character would get a grand farewell storyline. These days, if you're leaving Corrie, your exit might happen in the blink of an eye unless, of course, your character is being killed off for good. But there's actually a clever reason behind it. According to audience research, once fans find out that a character is about to leave, they stop caring about their story. Sally explained it plainly. If the audience knows someone's leaving, they just switch off. They don't invest. They move on mentally before the story even ends. Think about it. When you know a character is on their way out, it's hard to get emotionally attached to whatever's happening to them. The tension fades, the surprises stop landing, and viewers mentally check out. To keep fans engaged, the writers have started to keep exits under wraps, letting stories unfold naturally without hinting that a goodbye is coming. And Sally's own exit was a perfect example of that new philosophy in action. In her final scenes, Jenny tried to manipulate George Shuttleworth, but her plan completely backfired. It was messy, a little sad, and ultimately very human. Realizing things weren't working out, she decided to pack up and leave Weatherfield behind, starting a new chapter somewhere else. No dramatic tears, no explosions, no shock twist, just a quiet, realistic ending. Sally admitted that she actually preferred it that way. After decades in the spotlight, she wanted a modest departure, something understated and true to life. It suited me, she said, adding that she didn't want a massive farewell party or an over-the-top storyline. Ironically, that made her exit feel even more emotional for fans who appreciated the subtlety and honesty of her goodbye. But what fans didn't realize is that her final scene wasn't even filmed last. Her actual final day on set happened during an earlier episode, the now iconic Rover's speed dating scene. Amid all the chaos of awkward introductions and mismatched dates, Jenny rushes in and gets a phone call from Rita, claiming she's fallen over. It's a small moment, but it's perfectly Coronation Street ordinary life, interrupted by the people who make it special. Sally said she didn't want any big fuss made on her final day. She wanted to quietly slip out, do her job, and move on. But that didn't quite happen. Despite her best efforts, the cast and crew wouldn't let her leave without celebrating her years on the show. "I don't like being the center of attention," she joked, which is ironic for an actor. But deep down, she was clearly touched by the send-off she received from her Corrie family. Reflecting on her time, she pointed out how the same pattern has been happening for other longtime cast members too. Shelley King and Sue Cleaver both had exits that came and went quietly, without the usual fanfare. In Sue's case, her storyline only became more dramatic because Julie Goodyear returned as her character, who was tragically dying, one of the rare times in recent memory that the show allowed a big emotional goodbye. Otherwise, Sally joked, everyone just emigrates almost instantly. It's like everyone leaves within 24 hours. She laughed. I think I emigrated within about an hour. Behind the humor, though, her comments reveal something bigger, a fundamental shift in how Coronation Street tells its stories. Instead of relying on grand exits or explosive drama, the show is leaning into realism and surprise. Life doesn't always come with a warning or a perfect conclusion. Sometimes people just move on quietly, and that's exactly what the writers want to reflect. For longtime viewers, it's both refreshing and frustrating. On one hand, it keeps the show unpredictable. You never know who's leaving next or when it'll happen. On the other hand, fans who've grown up with these characters often crave that emotional closure, the kind of moment that makes you cry, laugh, or remember why you fell in love with the show in the first place. But maybe that's the point. By keeping departures secret, the show keeps its audience emotionally engaged. You're watching every episode, wondering what's next because anything could happen. Someone could leave, return, or even disappear without warning, and you'll only find out when it actually airs. Sally Ann Matthews' honesty has given fans a rare peek behind the curtain of one of Britain's most beloved TV institutions. It's a reminder that even after more than 60 years on the air, Coronation Street is still evolving, adapting to what viewers want, experimenting tinkering with storytelling and finding new ways to keep us watching. And while fans will miss Jenny Connor's quick wit and fiery spirit behind the Rover's bar, her exit marks a new chapter not just for her character, but for the show itself. Because on Coronation Street, nothing stays the same for long. Characters come and go, stories twist and turn, and sometimes the biggest changes happen in silence. So, the next time a familiar face suddenly disappears from Weatherfield with barely a goodbye, remember it's not lazy writing or a forgotten plot. It's part of a bigger strategy. Coronation Street is playing the long game, keeping its audience guessing and keeping its secrets close to the chest. And thanks to Sally and Matthews, we finally know the truth.